Hey everyone, I'm MKO. I'm a watercolor artist and I'm a new streamer here on YouTube. And today I want to show you guys how to make a gouache tree. So, gouache is very similar to watercolor. It's just a little bit thicker. You can't see through it as much as you can with watercolor. So, let's get into it. If you want to know all the supplies that I'm using today, you can take a look right over here and I'll have them all listed the whole video so you can check them out for yourself, see if you like them. I haven't done too much gouache yet, but this is the first thing that I ever painted with gouache. I did it on 12/27/2023. So I have a blank page right behind it with some little dots of green gouache on it. And I thought that I would go ahead and try to paint this again and see what a difference that there is between the two. So I'm going to be using this gouache set that I got from Jerry's Artorama. It's by Creative Inspirations. And you can see it's really dry, so I'm gonna have to reconstitute it, get the colors milky and creamy again. So I'm gonna do that and then mix up some colors and we're gonna start. Okay, now that we have our colors all mixed up, let's start. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my darkest color. And we're gonna start with the trunk. Okay. Now we're gonna add some skinny branches. In this part, there is no right or wrong way to do it. You can see that most of it will be covered by leaves and stuff anyways. So you can really just sketch out some little crooked lines here, whatever way you feel like. I'm going to add a little bit more dark over here. Give it a little shadow. And I'm going to add some little tree bark strokes, just a couple. Now we're going to let this dry. Okay, now that that's dry, I'm going to start with my darkest color of green, and I'm going to start layering in what's going to be the shadows. And we're going to do this a couple different times with all the different greens that I have here. And then we'll see what it looks like. And I'm not going to put the darkest green all over. I'm going to try to focus it on the parts where I think that there would be shadow. So on the bottoms and the under parts of the branches. And you can see all I'm doing is taking a little bit of the paint on the brush and adding some dots. Some go over the branches, some are a little bit away from the branches, some cover the branch entirely. And you're just gonna go on doing that up the tree, or you could start at the top and work your way down. That would honestly be smarter because then you won't drag your hand through it like I'm going to. But yes, just leaving some white space between areas so you can see through. Don't cover the branches entirely. And you don't want to add too much. This is going to take a little while to dry, but that's all right. We've got time and patience. That's what this art form is all about. All right, time to dry. While we're waiting for the leaves to dry, let's go through with a lighter brown and let's add a little bit of detail. We're grabbing our number 7 brush again. And let's add some highlights to the left side of the tree. There we go.
What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's pretty good
And
idea.
I want even
I'll
more
give you the moon, Mary. I'll take it. Then what? Well, then you can
shadows on the trunk of this tree.
and the moonbeams that shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair.
Let's use a tiny brush. Let's try this Beste Winkel Creative Mark. It's so small. It's like a eyeliner brush almost. Tiny. Okay, let's go with our next darkest color of green. We're gonna start at the top this time. Same way as before, little dots, sometimes pushing the tip of the paintbrush down. You can just dot in general. And we want some to go across the trunk as well. Now, time to dry. So while that was drying, I did add a little bit of white gouache to the other two greens that we had left. I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, and I also wanted it to be a little bit lighter. So kill two birds with one stone. Let's go ahead and start up what we were doing before. Perfect. Now that's the perfect consistency. Just opaque enough to give us some full coverage going on. And again, with this one, I'm trying to stay on the top of where I think the branches are and not too much underneath, because that's where the shadows are. So I know it's kind of confusing because, right, the top leads into the bottom because the branches touch each other. But as you go along, you can kind of get the hang of it. And it's okay to put some on the bottom too. Obviously, the branches are all overlapping. We're gonna let this dry. Then we got one more color of green to add, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit more highlight again. Adding a little shadow again over here. I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow under where each leaves on the branches cross over. That way it gives it some more depth there. You'll have to let me know if you can see that. I think it's dry. Pretty dry. Dry enough. Okay, last color.
Like the sun, we fall in the ocean. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, 'cause we're only human. The ghost of our past is chasing, trying to stop us. The sound of our souls connected is nothing but one love. So don't give up tonight.
Got a little bit rounder as we went on, but that's totally fine. Okay, I think the last thing we need to do is sign it. I'm gonna sign it down here. Add the date. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my very first tutorial, so please let me know what you think in the comments. I am looking forward to doing more videos like this in the future, so if there's something in particular you want to learn how to do or you'd like to watch me do, please let me know. As always, thank you so much for liking the video and subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.